when China looks at it, when Russia looks at it, they look at it through the perspective like, if I can find ways to make my soldiers stronger, faster, bigger, and more lethal on the battlefield, why wouldn't I do that? Special Forces operators across the entire DoD, whether that's Ranger Bat, MARSOC, SEALs, combat controllers, SF dude, CAG operators, they are the most intelligent and the most cunning individuals on planet Earth. They could outsmart anybody. So for the Army to think that if they implement this testing program, that's going to keep them from actually doing steroids or finding ways to enhance themselves, the Army's just throwing money away, guys. Steroids or TRT should be allowed in special operations, right? And I'll let you guys know why here in a second. So word on the street is that special operations across the DoD are planning on implementing steroid testing throughout all of their special operation units. Steroid use among special operations across the entire DoD is not a secret, guys. We know that guys do it. But the DoD is trying to find ways to crack down on the use of steroids. Why? I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, right? I've never, throughout my 15 plus years of running and gunning in special operations and my additional 5 years in Big Army, I've never really heard of any, steroid related deaths or steroid related scandal across any units. So I really don't understand why they're pushing to essentially ban it or to essentially get rid of it as a whole. Now, I've heard of, prostitution rings. I've heard of drug rings. I've heard of guys, overdosing. I've heard of guys committing suicide due to, drug use where there was spice and all of that other stuff. But as far as dudes using TRT or steroids, like I've never heard of that within special operations. But starting 2024, this year, units under special operation is going to be under a lot more scrutiny when it comes to testing. Guys, testing for steroids is not a cheap feat either. That shit's expensive. You don't just pee in a cup and see if a dude is using it or not. You got to do blood work. You got to send it off. You got to wait. There's a lot of costs that comes with that. So my thought process is, dude, why spend all that money on fucking testing to see if dudes are using, right? Why not put that money towards something else? Like, hey, how about you pay special forces operators a little bit more money? Maybe that'll help out with their recruiting. Instead, this is what I think that the military should do when it comes to this issue. I think they should allow special forces units to manage that in-house. Doing so, in my opinion, would alleviate a lot of injuries due to the high nature of the job. If you establish a program and you let the battalion PA manage that, you'll get a lot less injuries and guys will be bigger, stronger, faster, monitored by a professional who could monitor their levels, let them know when to go donate blood, let them know when to go do whatever it is that they want to do, right? I think that approach is more feasible than saying, hey, we're going to start testing. Because let me tell you something, man. Special Forces operators across the entire DoD, whether that's Ranger Bat, MARSOC, SEALs, combat controllers, SF dude, CAG operators, they are the most intelligent and the most cunning individuals on planet Earth. They could outsmart anybody. So for the Army to think that if they implement this testing program, that's going to keep them from actually doing steroids or finding ways to enhance themselves, the Army's just throwing money away, guys. That's the truth of it. You're not, I say again, you're not going to get these guys to stop using this performance enhancement drug. It's not going to happen. So to think that, hey, we're just going to throw some money at it, establish, this testing criteria, and then we'll get them to stop using it. How's that working out with cocaine? How's that working out with fucking heroin? How's that working out with weed? How's that working out with all the other drugs that the UPL program is supposed to stop? That shit doesn't work, man. You're just wasting taxpayer money. All right. When it comes to steroids, guys, just adapt the concept. We're the only country in the world that doesn't allow soldiers to do that, right? Because when China looks at it, when Russia looks at it, They look at it through the perspective like, if I can find ways to make my soldiers stronger, faster, bigger, and more lethal on the battlefield, why wouldn't I do that, right? The enemy plays for keeps. This isn't basketball. This isn't football. This isn't tennis. This isn't baseball. If you lose, you don't get to come home. They play for keeps over there, right? So everybody else understands that except for the United States. I don't understand it, right? And I don't agree with it at all, right? All you're doing is handicapping guys from actually reaching their peak, right? I'm a firm believer in it, guys. I think the units should adopt this program just like everything else that makes sense as far as defeating the enemy, and just control it and manage it. Give it to the battalion doc, all right, and let him manage it and let him take care of the dudes so they can be bigger, stronger, faster, right? They can go down range and do work and do whatever they need to do, right? It's only bad if you abuse it, just like anything else that's out there, right? It's bad if you abuse it. You abuse alcohol, guess what? You're gonna fucking die. You come home and you take a shit ton of Tylenol, right? Guess what? That's gonna be your last fucking headache, right? You're done. Anything in excess dosage is bad, all right? And that goes for everything. Again, testing is going to start here pretty soon, guys. I just wanted to get some feedback as far as how you guys feel about this particular topic, right? I will put the link to the article where it states that special operations are going to start getting tested in the description down below, guys. Make sure you guys take a read. Until next time, take care of yourselves.